What's going on, guys? It's Marcel Benson, investor and entrepreneur, and I have a video that's been highly requested that I think is going to simplify a lot of your trading, right? So, if you're a beginner trader and you're looking for a strategy or something that you can add to your existing strategy to make it a little bit more potent, you have come to the right place. Now, before we get started, I need you to do me a favor and just simply hit the subscribe button if this content has been valuable to you or if you're getting here for the first time. I'm on a mission to get to 1,000 subscribers. It's at that point that I'm going to be dropping a new series that's going to help enhance your trading on a whole nother level. All right, so hit that subscribe button and let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about trend lines, right? Trend lines are simply marking uptrends and downtrends, right? Drawing trend lines are a good way to understand the specific direction that a stock is going in to help you make a better decision about when to enter a trade and when to exit a trade. Let's just go ahead and draw some trend lines to get you guys familiar. So as you can see, I'm over here in the line section over here in the left pane, and I'm clicking on trend line, right? So this trend line, I'll just put it right here. That lets me draw a connecting line at any angle, horizontally, vertically, diagonally, right? Okay, so we'll delete that and we'll start all over. We'll hit that. And basically, an uptrend is connected by higher lows, right? So if you're connecting something by higher lows, that means you're finding one point. Let's take this point right here, and you're connecting it with a higher low. You only need 2 points to draw a line. So you got a low here, and then you're drawing to a higher low. So the uptrend is always going to have the line under it. The downtrend, you are drawing from high to lower high, which is going to place it above. So if we come here, okay, we'll say that this is the high here, and then we'll take this and we'll connect this with 1 point, and we can stretch it as far as we'd like, right? Or you can go even steeper and just, say you want to connect these 2 points, right? But let's just say we connect these 2 points right here, right? These 2 points. And when I say connect 2 points, it's really just like I said, a lower high, and then you can extend it as far as you'd like it to go to see where that trend is going, right? This is how you're going to have an idea of when something is changing. Okay, so we'll get into that in just a second, but I just want you guys to understand that when you're drawing a downtrend, again, it's a high and then a lower high to be connected, and then for the uptrend, it's a low and a higher low to be connected. And again, with this one, we could extend this as far as we would like, as long as it's touching on those two, right? So we'll get into that in a second. The beautiful thing about trend lines, though, is that they are giving you a direction, and you can look at these on any time frame, right? I just flipped to the 30-minute, and they're going to do the same thing. You could still use the same trend lines to determine the direction that a stock is going in. And as you get more familiar, I know a lot of people watching this may be a beginner, but as you get more familiar, you'll be able to spot trends without necessarily drawing the trend line. But even me being somebody who's been trading for quite some time, I still enjoy just drawing a trend line because there's so much satisfaction in being able to identify so precisely when something may change, right? So as you can see right now, I'm drawing a downtrend. This is on Palantir on the 30-minute. Now look at this. See? So I've connected 2 or more points, right? Lower highs to show a downtrend. Now, this is how you're going to determine when something is changing, when you get something just like this, right? You get a breakout. Now, the beautiful thing about the trend line is it's so simple. You could use this and not worry about anything else. No other indicators, no other trends. You could just have the trend line, and then when something is breaking out of a trend line, you can say, okay, this broke out and it made a higher high. This is a change of direction, and you can trade accordingly. And this works on every time frame. If you understand trend lines and you combine it with what you're doing, oh, it's going to take your trading to a whole nother level. So again, this trend line right here is being broken out of, so it could go up to this next level and break through that and even get up here to, retrace to where it fell from, because it's been in this downtrend. So the high is here, and you'll notice what does it do when you draw a trend line back to its high. You realize that, oh, a lot of this trading stuff is just angles. Because what happens when I take a trend line and then I draw it from the point that it's at, it forms a triangle. So this area at some point needs to be refilled, and it may not happen right here this quickly. It could be a little further, right? It may happen down the road. It may happen down the road, like here, right? It may take like this long to get out here. But the fact of the matter remains is that, like, we are constantly trying to rebalance and almost mirror a move that has been made in the market, right? So what goes down must come up. What goes up must come down, and vice versa. So these trend lines are a strong indication of a change of sentiment. So like I said, bringing it right back to the simple downtrend, we are now at the start of an uptrend right here. So when you saw this breakout right here, you could have entered right here in the next candle. That's a downtrend and then the start of an uptrend. Let's see if we can find an uptrend and then the start of a downtrend to give you guys an idea, right, of what that looks like. Let's see. Let's go back. Let's go back in time a little bit. Let's go back in time a little bit. All right. Let's see what we got here. Now, Palantir is a very aggressive stock, so sometimes the moves here may be a little bit more dramatic, but the same rules do apply. Let's see if we can find something here. Well, let's just look at it in the 4 hour. That'll give us a little bit more. Okay. All right. Okay, perfect. So if I'm looking at this swing low right here, I can take the trend line and I can draw uptrend from here to here, right? Just connecting multiple points. I can make it steeper by skipping over that and connecting it to this one right here and and making that the straight line. Excuse me. All right, it's being weird right now. Not letting me grab it. Let me delete that. All right. So let me start over with the trend line. I could take it from here and connect these two lines, and I could say, oh, this is the speed of the slope, right? You can always adjust to the points that you wish, right? We're talking about wicks, so sometimes it's not perfect. I usually like to keep a rule of thumb, like it's the speed of the second one. But obviously, if you look and you see this point right here and then this point, it's showing a slower trend line. We know that's not the case. We know the trend was actually way faster, so we need to connect it to a point up here, right? So we're going to say that this is the trend line right here to match the speed of the uptrend. And then we saw that it broke it. This big candle right here broke that trend. So if you would have entered in the next candle after this trend was broken, you would have seen a move come all the way down. Let's take the ruler and measure it. Let's see, from that second candle from here to the low. Wow, you're talking about a 35% dip in the stock. That is very impressive, right? And of course, this is on a 4 hour. So the bigger the time frame, the bigger the moves can make because it's accounting for more time. So trend lines are critical, guys. Now, like I said, trend lines by themselves work, but when you get a trend line that has confluence with some other indicator, right? So we have multiple reasons to get in a trade, like we do right here. If we make this larger, right? So I showed you guys this initially, this downtrend being broken right here. But not only is it being broken, but it's also being broken at the 9 and the 21, which we know are key indicators for, bounces and breakouts and things like that. So we saw the 9 and the 21 cross, and then we saw it come down. And then now we see it cross up, and we got the consolidation, and now it's ready to pop, like I said, back to the upside, right? So that's two confluences. You got the trend line break and you got it bouncing off of the 9. So that's two confluences. Like I said, an A plus setup has three confluences. So if we could find one more, that would be critical, right? And to me, that one more is simply the formation of an uptrend. So we got a break of a downtrend. We got the formation of an uptrend now. And this is showing you the speed in which it could move. And it shows pretty good support, right? We should bounce along this line to retrace all the way to highs. So this confirmation candle right here would have been a great entry, okay? So when you're trading trend lines, all you're waiting for is a break of it and then a confirmation candle. A break down below and a confirmation candle if we're trying to take puts. A break above and a confirmation candle if we're trying to take calls. Very simple, very easy to spot when something is changing directions. Again, you can use this on every time frame, but you want to make sure that you're taking the trend line tool and you're just connecting 2 points and you're staying consistent in the direction that it's going in and drawing it to where the stock is most recently, right? So you take the most recent highs down to the current stock price, where it's at, where the price action is, and you have your trend line, and then now you're seeing that where we currently are has broken that trend line, right? Really simple. All right, guys. So I hope you got a lot out of that. I hope you understand how to use trend lines to your benefit. I hope you really see the simplicity in what just simply drawing these lines can do for your trading. If this has helped you out, drop a comment below. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.